out here today. Lake's still very low. Come up a little bit. Looks like it was down another maybe 50 feet. Probably came up 50 feet, I'd say. Morning, Stone Wolf. Comes over that, it'll go down the tunnel out into the Colorado River. But it hasn't overflown since like maybe 1984 or 85, I can't remember. Been a long time though. Let me show you the water level. It used to be, if you look over here, right, down to the first area that it turns brown. That was our water level for years. Whenever I moved up here in '89, all the way until around 2000. Then it started dropping. The water's come back up quite a bit. I'd say it's come up at least 50 feet, if not more. 75 to 100. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. That wind's not tearing your ears up today. Anyways, 1990, moved out here. Well, I moved out in 1989. 1990, I came to work out here. Look at that copper dome over there. The visitor center. It goes down south. Did that elevator shaft. That's on the Nevada side there. We did tunnels over there that go back into the inlets to let visitors go back through there and take a look at the makings of this dam. You can see the overflow on the other side over there. And then down at the bottom over here, the river, there's a big inlet, a big tunnel that comes all the way back. It's about 30 foot in diameter, maybe more. That's where we brought everything in on the boats. Bring all the conveyor belts and stuff, set our conveyors up across the middle, exploding, you know, setting off the explosives, and then we had to muck everything out, get it on the conveyor belts and get it out off the boat. We did that for all the underground tunnels, plus that whole 750-foot elevator shaft right there. I was out here a couple years ago and had my motorcycle helmet with me, and I set it down here on the thing and it blew off, started rolling down there. I thought I was going to lose it, but I caught it about that next, not this landing here, but the next landing down there. Anyways, then whenever I was business agent, 2006, 7, and 8, is whenever we were doing this bridge here. It didn't get completed until 2000. So my good friends on that job. Anyways, this All right. Sorry about that, Tony. You still up in Washington? I haven't seen or heard from you for a couple of months. Let me set you down for 1 second. Hang on. Gotta get my seatbelt on. Safety first. All right, there we go. I'm sure you've been in this area quite a few times, right, Tony? Passing through, going up to Washington and whatnot. All right. I'm gonna go up the hill to where you have to turn around. They've got a helicopter pad up there in case people get hurt. And watch your cars. We got a video coming out where a lady got hit by a train back in Illinois and killed. Coming out here in a couple weeks. These tourists come out here and they don't even look, man. They just start crossing the dang roadway and they're just thinking about what they're doing. They don't realize there's other things happening around them. Anyways, we'll go up to the top of the hill here. I'm so glad they got that bypass bridge up here. Man, traffic's been so bad since 2011, September 11th, 2001. Whenever they started doing all the security on the dam and a lot of other facilities. That traffic used to back all the way up into Boulder City. And then it'd back up on this Arizona side for about 7 or 8 miles. Yeah, it's always windy here. When they were doing that O'Callahan bypass bridge, they had the crane set up, one on each side, and then the cable going across for the crane. And the winds came whipping through here so bad that it knocked one of the cranes over. There's that old souvenir stand. So here's the helicopter pad right here where if anybody gets hurt, the helicopter can land right here. Fly them out of here. There's a windsock. It's actually calm up here compared to where I was just at. Yeah, this was a good stop right here whenever we'd ride our motorcycles over to Rosie's. Rosie's is 28 miles over the dam into Arizona. We'd ride down to Rosie's, have breakfast. Then on the way back, we'd always stop right there and take a little smoke break, use the restroom. Yeah, wind's picking back up coming down the hill here. I don't know, I'm still amazed every time I come out here. Got to put the phone down for just a minute. Got the police right here. Can't be getting busted by the popo trying to do some live action. Alright, I don't know how many people know this, but there's a gun turret right up here from hang on. That's where they had, I don't know what size anti-aircraft gun they had in there. You could Google it, but they got one on this side and they got one on the other side, or they did have one on the other side. I've never seen it over there, but that's from back in, I think they did that whenever World War II. Because this is built in 1933 originally, and then I think World War II started up, so they put that anti-aircraft thing right there and on the other side to protect Hoover Dam. Most people don't know that. Of course, I've been all over this dam since I worked here. You know, I was a concrete superintendent on that, on the visitors tunnels and elevator shaft back in 1990. You can see a little bit better that let me zoom in on this. It's that round concrete thing right there. That's a 30-foot diameter elevator shaft that we did. And then you got this 3-story visitors tower right there. And a buddy of mine did the parking garage way over there. I wasn't in on that. It's pretty cool working out here. I tell people I worked on Hoover Dam, they say, oh yeah, right, whatever, you're crazy. But they don't realize that, you know, Hoover Dam was built and then there's been modifications made since then. There's 3 different modifications that I'm aware of, probably more than that. But the parking garage, the elevator shafts and tunnels, that bridge right over there, in between the elevator shaft and the parking garage, that's a different job right there, that bridge, and the widening of the road. There's been a lot of construction out here since Hoover Dam was built. Yeah, it was really cool working out here. It was a swing shift job. I worked for a mining company, Frontier Kemper, out of, I can't remember if they were in North Carolina or South Carolina, but the name of them was Frontier Kemper. And they had all miners out here, and then they hired guys out of my hall and the carpenter's hall to work out here, you know. So I came out here as a concrete superintendent, and a buddy of mine from Kingman was the carpenter superintendent. I've worked with him a couple jobs, and then we hired our guys out here for the pours and whatnot. It was a lot of fun. Half the time I didn't do anything. Typical union government job. That right there, that big hole right there, that's where the overflow water goes. I don't know if you remember back in the 1980s, there was a movie called Cherry 2000 where anyways, there's a lot of robots and stuff, and anyways, this lady was escaping California, I think, like people still are. And anyways, they got out here, and there was a crane out here, and they lowered the car down. It was an old Mustang. They lowered the Mustang down into here, and then they ran out of cable maybe halfway down. So like I say, that's over 750 feet, especially at that angle right there. So the second half of the tunnel, they had to slide down. I mean, that wasn't real with them sliding down, but it was pretty cool theatrics. So that, you remember that movie? Yeah, that's cool. I used to come out here. I had my card key for running the elevators. So I would come out here on that swing shift. I come out after 6 or 7 p.m. and let me roll my window up, try and knock some wind out. But I come out here and I can't remember which one of these are the elevator shaft, but I'd bring the elevator all the way up to the top here, and I'd talk to these visitors while I was up here. I'd have my miner's hat on with my light on top of the hard hat and all my gear and everything. I'd sit here and tell stories. I don't know if you can see them anymore, but used to be able to get it on YouTube. People committing suicide out here. I remember one guy had walked on the other side of the dam over there. A guy was shooting some video out here just like these people, and the guy walked right past the guy shooting the video. Next thing you know, over the wall he went. I mean, that's just a 3.5 foot wall, and you're right on the other side of the dam. If you go right over that little wall right there, you're jumping off the dam basically. But the dam goes down at an angle, a little bit of a slope. As it gets closer to the bottom, it gets thicker. So on that side, on the river side there, it's sloped out. So you basically just slide down. You slide down the dam all the way down until you hit bottom. And when you hit bottom, you're like a basketball, you bounce. All right, Ken. So yeah, here's the old Callahan Bridge. This was an amazing feat right here. Like I said, I was the business agent on this portion of the job. Right on the other side is Colorado River. Let me see if I can pull this off. These people are impatient, man. Okay, it's clear. Go ahead. It's clear. Go ahead. People, man. Yeah. We're like a bunch of actors, man. We just want everybody to act the way we want them to do, and we want to control the whole show. It's hard to tell if any of these guys are... You never know if there's an undercover cop or anything. So, anyways, there you go. First hand, way down there. River's all the way down there on the bottom. I'm not going to take any time and get in trouble today. Oh well, maybe a little bit. I've jumped over here before. There we go. There's the river. River's pretty low right now. Not letting any water out. Or, well, letting a little bit out or the river wouldn't be flowing at all. But they're not letting too much water out. Alright, back in the car before I get in trouble. Hang on, let me put my seatbelt on. Alright. Yeah, back whenever I was a business agent coming out here, they may have been out to about this point right here on both sides. They were only about 25% complete, maybe 25% complete. Then I took a nice job over in California for 3 years. These are the old cableway systems they put in. This is how they carried everything down to the bottom. They still do it. I'm going to take you guys up here, show you a couple more things. I'm going to show you where the railroad tunnels come in, where they bring things in through Las Vegas, and then they bring them out here by train, come in over here. This is where you park if you want to go up on top of that bridge. There's a walkway that goes across that bridge, the whole length of the bridge, so you can go up here and park right here and go walk out on that bridge and check out Hoover Dam from the bridge. Hoover Dam, check out the river down below. It's pretty cool. I've done it a couple times, so I don't care to do it anymore. Get around this guy. He's from Illinois. That's my home state. What's up, homie? Debbie's trying to call in. Sent her a message saying I can't talk, text me. Hope I don't get in trouble with her. So here's all their new security stuff they set up. They ask some different questions than what they normally ask. Usually they talk about explosives and, you know, you got any explosives in your vehicle, things like that, firearms. Today they asked if I had any guns or drones. That was a little weird. Of course, my answer was no. Okay, that gate there real quick, that gate's what you go through and you go down that road to go drive down to the bottom of the dam. I'm going to go up on this hill right here to the right and show you where the tunnels are. Now these tunnels, the old train tracks, the old train tunnels, I think there's 5 tunnels that go through the mountain. And you can park, they got a parking lot over on the other side, and you can hike this, you can walk it, you can ride your bicycle. I've hiked it before. Debbie and I have rode the e-bikes down through there. Once this thing goes to not live, but what do they call it? Once I put this video up to public after I'm done being live, then I'll link in the description. I'll put a link down for the tunnels. And you can check out that video, or you can just scroll through my videos if you want and find the tunnels. We'll be able to see Lake Mead on this side too. So we may catch a little bit of wind again. Alright, first things first, there's the train tunnels over here. So you can see one of the tunnels right there. There's a couple more tunnels on the other side. There's a tunnel going under us right here. See if I can zoom in on that tunnel there. There you go. But I'll put a link in the description. That way you can check out the video on these tunnels. Debbie and I was riding the e-bikes and we had the trailer on and had baby in the trailer. So that's a pretty neat video. I think the trail here is probably about 6 miles. I wouldn't bet on it, just guessing though. So the boat docks down here used to be all the way up here. That's where the boat docks have started. So you can see how much the water's dropped. And if you look at that brown tip right there, that brown tip was out of the water tip over there, 3, 4, I think 4 of them were out of the water. And the water level was probably about 30 or 40 feet below those tips. So you can see how bad it is. They just keep moving the whatchamacallit, the boat ramps and everything, the marina. They just keep moving the marina. The lower the water gets, they just keep moving it out. Right over in here is where they found the dead bodies in the barrels. You probably haven't seen that on the news. That was right over in this area, right here. So people come down and park out here, get the boat out, and then dump the barrels right there with the bodies in them. That's back in the 80s when they were dumping the bodies. Let's see if I can go over here and see anything from this side. See if I can show you where the tunnel goes through over here. Alright, yeah, the tunnel's basically right under me right now. Those tunnels are cool. I mean, it's just a neat path to come hike on or bicycle ride, what have you. You can walk down here, just bring you some water. I think it's 6 or 7 miles round trip, come all the way down. But you can go all the way to the dam if you want. I've done that hike once. It's a little bit too much for me. We hiked all the way down, then we caught a ride back. Water looks beautiful today. It's fairly calm for the way the wind's blowing up here. There's a few ripples out there, but nothing bad. When the wind really gets kicking, we get 4 and 5 foot swells out here. Not only are they swells, it's worse than an ocean because the waves just keep coming from every side. Jump back in the car here. Hang on a second, seat belts. It's warming up. It was about 84, 85 whenever I got here. I ran down to Mesa, Arizona this morning, 2 a.m. Mick, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in, if you're still in here. I gotta get some AC on in here. Whew. I think it's only gonna get up to maybe 90 today. Only 90 degrees. That's not bad. It's been in the 90s for the past couple of weeks. Maybe the last month in the 90s, just over 100. But August, let's see, July and August was over 100, you know, like 110, 115. Morning, Twin Brooks, appreciate that. We just took a little spin out around the Hoover Dam. I'm gonna drive up through Boulder City now. It's a beautiful area out here, just outside of Las Vegas. This is a must-see if you ever come out to Nevada. Yeah. It's a little chilly out here. I'll tell you what. I think tomorrow the overnight lows get in the mid to low 60s, so that's going to be great. Tony, thanks a lot, buddy. Glad you dropped by. Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Yeah, so I went down to Phoenix or Mesa, Arizona at 2 a.m. and I'm just now getting back. Went down on did a welfare check on some family members. Everything's okay for now. So we love the mountains out here. We love the desert. We love the mountains. It gets hotter than a furnace during the summertime, but you know, you got to pick your poison. You know, you're either hot in the summertime, which I'll tell you what, we go vacationing during the summertime across the Midwest and the East, you know, and if you're not careful, you're going to catch that 100-degree weather with the humidity, you know, 95, 97% humidity with all them mosquitoes and bugs, and that's nothing very nice either. Hey Drew, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Just took everybody by the Hoover Dam, showed them the train tunnels. Yeah, you know what, Drew, you're right. It does get up there to 118, 120, whatever. I'm like the Weather Channel. I didn't want to scare anybody from coming out here. The temperature that they tell you on the news and weather is in the shade at the airport. The actual temperature is usually 10 degrees warmer. Yeah, I like the Class C RVs. Whenever we had the Class C, Debbie could drive it too. She felt comfortable driving the Class C. Now we got the Class A and she doesn't like that. She won't drive. Doing some good work out there on Jeff's place, Drew. I don't know, man. I'm pretty proud of you for all you do. I know you and Jeff have been friends for quite a while. You know, believe it or not, I don't know if he's ever read my post on his channel, but Jeff grew up all around where I did. I'm from Illinois as well. You know, he used to call himself the Muhammad Man. I was just out there in Muhammad about 3 or 4 weeks ago whenever I was visiting family back in Illinois. And I think he called himself the Peoria Man at one time. I got a lot of family from Peoria. I was just over there at the motorcycle races, but yeah, you're doing pretty good with that backhoe, man. That's what you do. You just learn as you go, you know, you're self-taught. Get out there and do it, you know. I remember whenever I first started working on a backhoe, the guys would take off for lunch, and I asked them, I said, can I mess around with this while you guys are at lunch? And they said, yeah, go ahead. So I taught myself how to run backhoe on the old 580C's extender hose. Those were pretty cool. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go into Boulder City right here. This is a beautiful little town here, a small town. I don't know if you came through here whenever you were out here or not, Drew. But right between, you know, Boulder City's a small town in between Lake Mead and Henderson and Las Vegas. Right after I finished up working at Hoover Dam, I came out here and we did a bunch of these flood control channels on the side of the highway right up here on the right. We worked out here for about 6 months. I love pouring concrete. I wish I still had it in me to do it, you know, but just got older and got too tough on me. Body starts breaking down. Lungs can't take it anymore. Yeah, you wanted to get out of the heat, that's for sure. I hear you there, man. I don't blame you. Utah's beautiful. Utah's like one of the best kept secrets, man. If people have never been to Utah, that's definitely a go-to place. I don't know how many national parks they've got, maybe 5 or 6 national parks there. Each one of them is just as beautiful as the next. Yeah, all this flood channel down here on this side of the road, we did that back in 1991, 92. This town used to be real bad for flooding. Now, I'll tell you about breathing that cement dust. I was pretty nuts whenever I was younger. I smoked cigarettes. I smoked probably 2.5 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And then I would be grinding concrete with all that dust flying everywhere without a dust mask, with a cigarette in my mouth. Not a worry in the world. People thought I was crazy. I think I know I was crazy. Yeah, Debbie and I have looked for property before. I think probably we were down in Arkansas 2 years ago, I want to say. We stayed around Fort Smith for a couple days. Debbie had to get a prescription at the Walgreens there. We had to wait there in Fort Smith so they could do that since we were on the road. And then from Fort Smith, we traveled down through, I don't know, I think I want to say Boonville, Russellville, through that route. Pretty sure that's the way we went. Looked for some property down through there, and that was, I think that was 2021, and the property prices were really, I think they probably doubled around that time. I just wasn't going to pay that much money for you know, for someone to profit that much. Okay, now we're coming into Boulder City. Most of the town is back to the left. I'm not going to go through the old part of town. I'm going to just turn right here. Oh, that's good. The prices are coming down. We'd sure like to get probably 10 acres. We started farming right here in Henderson, though. Okay, Twin Brook, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate that. We got our little farm started here because I'm trying to learn a little bit about farming and whatnot. I don't know if it's called farm or if we're farming, but we got some chickens and ducks, and we had some turkeys. And then I just started planting the garden. Matter of fact, I knew I was leaving at 2 a.m. this morning to go to Phoenix and back, so Debbie and I started planting the garden last night. I've been working on it for about 2 weeks, building these raised beds, and I finally got some topsoil delivered last week. Hey Lindsay, how you doing? Welcome in, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. So I just got some topsoil. I got 12 tons of topsoil. delivered this week. So me and my granddaughter started filling the raised beds, and we got one of them filled and watered down, and we started planting last night. Check out this little train museum here. It's a really cool place to go. You can walk through all this for free. And then I don't know what the schedule is, but you can ride the train. I think it's about a 5-mile ride over the railroad pass and back. And then inside that, I think it's that train car right there. They've got a lot of the small scale trains running, probably about 6 different tracks. Looks like a little city in there. I just drive around like I own the place, if you didn't notice. I guess I'd rather beg forgiveness than ask permission. I mean, there's no signs that say no trespassing, so as long as it doesn't say no trespassing, then I'll just go wherever I want. And if I get caught and they tell me to leave, then I'll leave. Got some cool old cars down here though. These are some old cars that they used to use for the visitors here. I think I'll turn around right here. See, now there's a no trespassing sign right there. So you definitely can't go in there. And I see a guy over there in that caboose hiding out. I think these workers out here are mostly volunteer workers. Hey Drew, you ever going to come back out to Las Vegas again? You got to come out here in the you know, either any time between October and March. I can't remember from your videos when you came out here, but I know it was hot. It seemed like it was summertime, so 118 degrees, it had to be summertime. Chance Travels. How you doing there? Lower Michigan, welcome in. Good to see you. How's the weather back home? I bet it's perfect right now. I didn't get to make it to Michigan. I came to Illinois. I rode my motorcycle to Illinois. Those videos are up right now. They're coming up online, but I rode to Illinois and I planned on staying a couple of months out there. I was getting ready to go to the cabin over in Indiana, and I was going to go up into Michigan, up the peninsula, and then kind of just meander over to South Dakota for the Sturgis rally. But Debbie caught a infection and had to be hospitalized, so I cut my Illinois trip short. Shot back to Las Vegas real quick. I went like 1,800 miles in a day and a half on the motorcycle. That was flat flying. I got back and she was okay and everything turned out all right. So about a week later I took off for Sturgis. Me and a buddy went to Sturgis for the motorcycle rally. That was a great time. Yeah, I wish I could just take off right now and shoot back there. This is a great part of the year back there in the Midwest, upper Midwest. 60s and 70-degree temperatures. We don't get that until maybe December. The end of November, 1st of December, we'll get the 60s. So we're heading over towards Vegas right now. We live in Henderson, which is the first town we'll come to. It's only like 5, maybe 7 miles between Boulder City and Henderson. Takes 10 minutes. Unless I'm on the motorcycle, then it takes 7. I wish we had meetups out here. Okay, just had a little bad connection there for 1 second. We're back. Hope everybody's okay. Had a little Area 51 interference. So here's Railroad Pass. That's where I was saying the train comes down to right here. If you take a ride on that little train. Those train tracks were to go out to Hoover Dam whenever they were building the Hoover Dam. That's how they got all the goods out there. Wherever they came from, whether it was Los Angeles or Salt Lake City, they bring the goods to Las Vegas and then bypass the trains out here through Henderson, Boulder City, and then on to Hoover Dam. Now, Debbie and I ride our e-bikes out this way. We live right over here, just on the other side of this hill. So it's about 5 miles to our house right here, I think. By the way the crow flies, anyways. Once we cross over the top of this hill here, we're going to be able to look right down into Las Vegas. Back in the early 90s, whenever I was working for that same company, doing that work in Boulder City, we did all this freeway stuff up here. We did 28 bridges. Yeah, so we ride the trails right out here. Take the trails over there and then right down to our house. There's downtown Las Vegas. I can't zoom in. I got too many vehicles on my butt right now and I got to turn right up here. We love coming into town at night, come over that hill and all you see is the bright lights of Las Vegas. Yeah, starting right here at these bridges, we did 28 bridges right here. I've done over 100 bridges here in Las Vegas. Yeah, you remember coming over that little hill and seeing Las Vegas? That's cool, huh? You went on down, you stayed on the highway there, but I get off right here and come this way to our house. This is called Boulder Highway. It's a city street or state. It's owned by the state. The state maintains it, but it's called Boulder Highway. And it runs all the way through Henderson, Las Vegas, down to Fremont Street. It dead ends into Fremont Street. Oh, okay. I see where you're at now. I was thinking you came the other way since you were going to Utah. There's another it's called Clark County Museum right over here. They got a few train cars over there. I don't know what. I've never stopped at this little museum. They got some little buildings out there. Looks like an old train engine, a couple other things. Okay. So you just did a loop through the city then and took straight out to Utah. You must have just been meandering all over the place. You were on vacation, seeing the world, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat driving that van. I haven't seen the van for a while. You still got that, I'm sure. Yeah, you could go down Racetrack Road there to our house. That's one way to get home. There's a few different ways to get home. But anyways, this is where we do our shopping. This is Lowe's over here. Everything's close to our neighborhood. Everything's within 3 or 4 miles of the house right around here. Yeah, you gotta keep them old engines running. Them old gas engines, man. Dang carburetors try to gum up. I just went through it with my Jeep. I just got my Jeep running about, maybe a month ago. We're redoing the Jeep. But I had to drop the gas tank, do the whole filter and pump and everything on it. I had to do the same thing on my pickup truck. I let it set for like 2 years. And then Debbie's motorcycle sat for a couple of years while we were working up in Seattle, or while I was working in Seattle. I had to pull her filter out and put a new filter and pump in it. So we got all these flood channels out here for people that don't know what it's like out here, because it rains and the water comes off of these mountains and floods the cities out real bad. So we had to come through the whole city and do these flood control channels. You can see on the other side of this fence here. We got these flood channels everywhere. I don't know how many people died here about 2 or 3 weeks ago whenever we had the bad rains, but we got a lot of homeless people that live in the tunnels. And I guess everybody didn't get out, so there's a few people that drowned, which is sad. I mean, it's sad we got so many homeless people, but then drowning is, pretty bad too, I guess. That's the last of the bad things that's going to happen to you. I'll just say that. Alright guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm getting close to the house. Really appreciate everybody dropping in, saying hi, taking a little drive with me. And I will see you guys on the next one. God bless. Have a great day. Be safe.